What's poppin', and Happy New Year from Maxify Film, where today we're counting down our top movies from 2022. A good year for movies, I think.
Yeah.
And we're doing top 6. Explain to them why we're doing a top 6, mate.
So, it's a top 6 because we decided to do 3 each, from our list that we made of top movies from this year and combine them. And this is how it ended up.
We wanted to do an even number so we could each have an equal contribution to the list. There was a little bit of overlap. Some movies I like better, some movies he liked better. But let's get into it. Starting with some honorable mentions. Violent Night.
Yeah, I thought this was a really good Christmas movie. It's an interesting Christmas movie. You should definitely see it.
It works really well in that niche.
Hustle.
This was an Adam Sandler movie from this year. Looked like a major improvement from Adam Sandler's last movie. Looked like Adam Sandler is trying again in drama, which is good.
Yeah, I like this one a lot.
For the Crawdads Sing.
So this is one only I saw. I thought it was pretty good. Similar to another movie we recently saw, Pearl. Yeah, overall pretty good.
Chip and Dale was maybe the most surprising movie of the year. A lot like the Lego movie, it really surprised me.
Yeah, it definitely surprised us, and I think that's one of the reasons it's on here, but it didn't make the list because of that reason.
Everything Everywhere All at Once, I almost put on this list, but decided after rewatching it that there were some pacing issues, and I don't know if it quite makes it. I thought this was my number 1 for a long time, but there were 5 movies that were decidedly better.
The Barbarian I didn't see.
Barbarian is another movie I really liked from this year. I'm a little ambivalent about the ending, and that's the only thing holding me back from putting on this list. 2022 was a year of weird endings and weird third acts that didn't really wrap up very well, but it was also a year of incredibly good horror, Barbarian included, and also included our number 6 spot, Men.
So, I think this came out in January or February of 2022.
Came out in March, but it was a quarter 1 movie.
It was very good, and seeing it in the theater really did a lot for this movie.
Mm-hmm. We had a very positive theater experience with this. Like I said, it was a really good year for horror, and it was started off with some really good ones, especially this one. And
this movie was insane. Like, seeing it, even the trailer, just put you in a suspenseful mood. Like, this movie was like maybe the most suspenseful movie I've ever seen.
This is a movie that's very eerie. It's a lot like a good eerie movie I always think of is The Mothman Prophecies, but now I think I'm gonna change to saying that Men is a very good eerie movie.
Yeah, I really like this because it kind of encaptured the vibe of A24 very well.
This felt like a very A24 movie, which was good. And we're going to be talking more about A24 today.
Yeah.
They also had a good year. Coming into the number 5 spot is more of kind of my pick, but Glass Onion, Knives Out Mystery.
Yep.
Netflix, again,
so
popping off this year. Like, this could have been higher. This could have been my number 1 spot, but a factor that's at play in a lot of these is recency bias. But also, I think this movie it introduces a ton of potential for this franchise.
Yeah, I definitely liked this movie, but I think one of the reasons I mostly liked it is because it opens up a lot of potential for this character and going forward with this franchise.
Mm-hmm. We see a lot more development of Daniel Craig's Benoit Blanc character, and that's very exciting.
I think in this one, Daniel Craig really leaned into the role a lot. On the first Knives Out, it didn't really seem like he was doing that, but in this one, it seemed like he really...
Yeah, he's getting more in touch with this character, and this is a character that I think and I hope can become even more of an iconic character for Craig than even James Bond.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very exciting prospect.
All right, now at number 4, Spiderhead.
Spiderhead was another Netflix movie. I think another quarter 1 movie. Maybe early quarter 2. It was early this year.
Mm-hmm.
We saw it just when it came out. I didn't realize it was a movie that came out this year. I thought we just had found it on Netflix, but it was a really good movie.
I really like this movie just because of the concept. I don't know, the concept just stuck with me. It felt like Black Mirror, really.
It had a real Black Mirror vibe, and that's something that we just like a lot. I know I do. So it got me excited, and another Netflix movie that really was good this year and overlooked too. I don't see very much discourse on this movie, but Spiderhead was a good movie, and I think even for Chris Hemsworth, it was a different kind
It
of
was
movie for
the
him.
best Chris Hemsworth movie this year.
Yes, definitely.
The Batman.
The Batman is the number 3 spot.
I believe
on
we
today's
saw this
list.
at different times, but we both really liked it. I thought it was really good for a Batman movie. They very much leaned into this, like, not so much comic book Batman, not so much cartoon Batman, but really kind of almost violent and just vigilante.
What it's done is put Batman into where he's supposed to be right now.
Yeah, I really
it's really what Batman needs.
I felt like this was maybe one of the best Batman movies of all time. I thought the way they did it was different from probably any other I've seen.
And it was lined with excellent performances as well. Robert Pattinson, very good. Paul Dano as the Riddler, just like we thought, very good. And Colin Farrell as the Penguin was ridiculous. All right, coming into the number 2 spot, The Menu. The Menu.
Yeah, so one of the reasons this is so high up on the list is because it has a big appeal to us because we are both movie critiques and, foodies, kind of, So this movie, kind of, it felt very close to home.
We were definitely target audience for this movie, but I don't think that stops it from being a really effective satire. And this also falls into the pitfall of kind of weird endings that was happening this year, especially with stuff that's kind of horror adjacent. I don't know if I would call this a horror movie. It's definitely more of a satire, but it absolutely delivers on being a satire of the world of food enthusiasm, I guess.
I could definitely see how some people would see this movie and not like it as much, because I don't know. It's definitely for a specific audience, but I would definitely recommend seeing it.
Mm-hmm. And even down to a cinematography level, this movie knows exactly who its audience is, and it understands the expectation, and it's not afraid to poke fun at that audience either. And that's what makes it so effective.
Okay, so in the number 1 spot, another A24 movie from this year, The Whale. So this is another one where we have seen it very recently. So, that could be why it's closer, or why it is at the top. But yeah.
I think this is going to hold up on rewatches, and I think this is going to hold up in years to come because it's so thematically relevant. It appeals to so many different themes and so many different ideas, and it's a lot like Aronofsky's previous work. It is hard to kind of decipher what exactly the message of the film is. Maybe not as intensely as something like Mother would be, but still, like the central message of this movie isn't a clear one. Like you could argue that it's something, but you could also easily argue it's something else.
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on in this movie.
It's also an incredibly low budget film. It's the lowest budget movie we've mentioned so far, and it does a ton with that budget. Special effects are incredible.
When I went into this movie, I was like, dang, this guy either like gained a lot of weight or this is CG. And actually, it was neither. It was a suit, which is insane. And it's
practical filmmaking.
In
2022.
It's crazy now, like to do that. But it probably ended up saving their budget a lot.
Yeah, and Brendan Fraser making a comeback is a massive positive. If he makes a comeback as a dramatic actor, which he's amazing in this film, wearing like a 300-pound bodysuit, with a performance that still comes through. Sadie Sink is also in this movie, in a really good performance. I think really solid movie overall.
Yeah,
and
I thought the
kind
acting
of new ground for A24, or it seems like it at least. A24 is kind of choosing some new directions this year, and that was something that was really exciting. So overall, 2022 was a really good year for movies, and you can tell if you look through the movies that came out this year versus the movies that came out in 2020 or 2021, you can tell this movie had some incredible films, and there were ones we didn't even mention that could have easily made this list. And also, if you're curious, our personal top 5s, which we discovered by writing down every movie we watched and crossing them off one by one, were as follows.
Okay, The Batman, Spiderhead, The Menu, The Whale, Men.
Glass Onion, The Whale, Barbarian, The Menu, Triangle of Sadness. there you have it. The best movies, according to me and him, of 2022.